When you can perform several touch squats in a row comfortably, then you might want to consider adding some weight to your squat, taking away the box. But first, I think it's important to assess, can you do the weights with the bar behind your neck like you see is done as a typical squat? So first thing I want to do is assess, can I actually do a squat in that position? For my assessment, I'm going to take a pole, very light, and see, can I actually, with my hands a little bit wider than shoulder, can I actually put this behind my neck? No. If I cheat, put it back, bring my arms in, can't get my hands very close. We don't want it riding on our neck. We want it to ride down on our shoulders. So I can kind of force it into this position. It's not very comfortable. When you're doing a squat with bar behind the neck, you want the bar to go basically straight up and down. So avoid bending forward. Push your hips back. Can you get your knees down to 90 degrees? And keep the bar straight up and down. This assessment might tell you this is not going to be an exercise for you. There are variations to the squat with the bar behind the neck, which are equally effective for strengthening all the muscles involved in the squat. Another assessment I want to look at is using a rollout on the wall. I'm going to come right to that. So this is one of these rollout wheels. The point of this assessment is to see, can I maintain that good straight vertical up and down doing a squat maneuver. So put the wheel against the wall. My feet are back about 2 feet. I bring the wheel up and push my hips back. Can I get my feet closer to the wall and maintain a good form? And one last try. Struggling on this one. So, again, this is an exercise you can do on a regular basis. Try and increase your flexibility while you're doing these body weight squats. Another version is to use one of these big Swiss balls, put it against the wall, put your back into it, your feet shoulder width apart, and up and down. This is a version of a hack squat where we're using primarily our quadriceps. I find this useful to increase my range of motion and stability. So, having gone through the assessment, I find that the bar behind my neck squat is not one I'm capable of doing. So we have other versions. One's called a goblet squat. You take a weight, like a kettlebell, in front of your chest, and you squat. Again, try and focus on keeping the weight coming vertical. Another version is lower the weight down, feet wide apart, knees going out over the feet as a sumo squat. really beneficial exercises, exercising these muscles in a variety of different ways. The fitness industry has come up with a number of devices to accommodate people like me with limited flexibility. One is generally called a Smith machine. It has a track where the bar runs up and down, so you can put weights on the side and use this. The downside to it, I believe, is that that track is not vertical. It forces you to lean forward a bit, which I think is a bit more dangerous with a squat. Also, you have to unhitch it, and to control the weight, you have to bring it back, which, if you're in trouble, it might be hard to do. So you can't just drop it and get out safely. A modification I prefer is called a safety bar, which has these handles and a pad, so you can put the bar behind your neck, but doesn't require the shoulder flexibility. The bar itself weighs somewhere between 60 and 70 pounds, so it's heavier than most of your Olympic bars. But let me go ahead and demonstrate this. So you duck underneath, get the bar lift up, find your balance, try and keep the bar vertical. Do your squat. I recommend always squatting in a safety cage. This one, where I have the supports at a level where if I lose control of the bar, I can basically sit down and it will end up on these supports and not crush me. Or in this, where you have a whole cage, same idea. You have supports at the bottom to catch the bar if you lose control. Other devices, we have a leg press machine where you sit down, put your legs on there, and use that to exercise your lower body muscles. It doesn't do as much for the core and the upper body. A hack squat machine, similar to when we use the Swiss ball against the wall. It puts more of the stress on your quads, and you can load it up with any amount of weight. And then a true squat machine, which forces you into vertical alignment and again allows you to put on a various amount of weight. This device is again for hack squats, where you put your feet under the rollers, sit back, and use that to get more of that quad involvement. So that's what I was going to go over today. Again, to reiterate, I believe the squat is a very important exercise, particularly for seniors, to improve the strength in our legs and core, which improves our balance and muscle function, and can keep us fit and healthy as long as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time.